A story about a Japanese comic that predicted a big earthquake in July is very popular online. The comic says Japan might have a big disaster this July. It even sounds like a movie, right? Today, we are going to explain the truth in clear, simple words. Hello everyone. We are Cloudy Candy and Roaster Pig. In our video, we gathered new data from Japan's earthquake agencies and local groups. We ask many questions. Why does Japan have so many earthquakes? What are the new trends? Where is the Nankai Trough? What earthquakes happened there before? Why is everyone talking about this report? What might happen if the worst comes true? Which parts of Asia might be in danger? And how can you stay safe during a big earthquake? We will talk about why earthquakes happen, how they work, and what they do. We hope this helps you be ready for natural disasters. Why are there so many earthquakes in Japan? Japan sits on an area called the Pacific Ring of Fire. This means earthquakes happen very often here. Japan is where three big plates of the Earth's crust meet. These plates are called the Eurasian, Pacific, and Philippine sea plates. They crash into each other. This makes the land shake a lot. Many recent quakes have made people around the world notice Japan. Japanese earthquake experts say that 61 quakes stronger than magnitude 5 happened around Japan from November 2024 to January 2025. Out of these, 3 quakes over magnitude 5 happened inside Japan. Scientists keep watching the islands and say they are still feeling stress from the ground movement after the 2024 Noto earthquake. In one area, from southern Hokkaido to Tohoku, the ground still moves after quakes because the Pacific plate shifts. In the Boso Peninsula, the Earth has slowly slid since February 2024. In Kyushu, the ground changed after the Hugonata earthquake in August 2024. Scientists also found that the ground slipped in central and western Shikoku in December 2024. They saw more slips in the Tokai and northern Kii Peninsula in January 2025. Shikoku and the Kii Peninsula felt small shakes throughout the year. Data from the Japan Meteorological Agency shows that recent quakes have been from magnitude 1 to 6 all over Japan. Some quakes even made tsunami warnings. Even though Japan is very good at handling earthquakes, every shake causes worry and harm. Earthquakes can damage buildings and make people feel scared. They change daily life, how society works, and even the economy. Where is the Nankai Trough? The Nankai Trough is in the ocean off the south of Japan. It is a deep valley under the sea where two big plates of the Earth meet. One plate carries the Japanese islands while the other is under the ocean. They push against each other slowly every year. This trough marks the edge of the Pacific and Philippine sea plates. The trough stretches 700 kilometers from Shizuoka's Suruga Bay to the Shikoku region. Imagine it as a hidden bullet train track running underwater along Japan's south coast. Big cities along the train route show how the trough might affect the country. Tokyo is a sign of damage from strong shakes in the Tokai area. Shizuoka is near Suruga Bay, which is at the start of the trough where big earthquakes and tsunamis have happened before. Nagoya is close to Ayase Bay, an area that has felt the force of past quakes. Even Kyoto, though a bit farther away, has seen earthquake impacts. Osaka, by Osaka Bay, could feel tremors and tsunami waves. In Okayama, near the start of Shikoku, nearby areas like Kochi and Tokushima might be the first hit by a tsunami. Hiroshima, although far, can still feel strong earthquake waves. In Yamaguchi, on the edge of western Honshu, small tsunami ripples may occur. Fukuoka, a big city in Kyushu, might also feel the effects of earthquakes even from a distance. The trough goes from Shizuoka to Shikoku and reaches Hugonada in Miyazaki Prefecture on Kyushu. This is a very active area where the Pacific and Philippine sea plates meet. When enough pressure builds up, the plates can break suddenly. This can cause huge earthquakes that bring giant tsunamis, strong shaking, and even volcanic eruptions. The Nankai Trough's seismic history. A long time ago, the Nankai Trough had many big earthquakes. It is like a fast road for earthquakes, a sleeping giant that wakes up every 100 years. History tells us that 13 huge earthquakes stronger than magnitude 8 happened here. The earliest record is the 684 Hakuo earthquake. It caused giant tsunami waves. In 1707, the Hoi earthquake killed 20,000 people. Then, 49 days later, Mount Fuji erupted. Lava flowed for many kilometers. In 1854, the Yansei Great Earthquakes brought tsunami waves as tall as a 10-story building. More recently, the 1944 Tonankai earthquake and the 1946 Nankai earthquake caused a lot of damage and hurt many people. Scientists say the next huge earthquake is close. It has been 80 years since the last disaster. Deep underground, energy has been slowly building. Research shows there is an 80% chance of another megaquake in the Nankai Trough within 30 years. This will be a big challenge for people living on the coast and for their buildings and roads. We are now at a dangerous time. Even scarier, this big quake might not come alone. History shows that nearby faults can break one after the other. In 1854, the Yansei Great Earthquakes hit the Tokai and Nankai regions only 32 hours apart. In 1944, after the Tonankai earthquake, the Nankai earthquake came within 2 years. If many faults break at the same time in the future, disasters might spread like falling dominoes along the Pacific coast. Why is the recent earthquake in Japan getting so much attention? Japan is a country where earthquakes happen a lot. That is why scientists study its ground motion all the time. Experts say Japan lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire. This is an area where many earthquakes and volcanoes occur. Scientists have split the Nankai Trough into 4 parts. They named these parts Tokai Trough, Tonankai Trough, Nankai Trough, and Hugonada. They watched these areas day and night. They gathered data from earthquake waves and look at how the land moves. This helps them know when and how strong an earthquake might be. On January 13, 2025, a 6.6 earthquake shook the Hugonada area in southern Miyazaki Prefecture on Kyushu Island. It happened 30 kilometers below the ground. The quake caused a small tsunami with waves about 23 centimeters high at Miyazaki port. Similar waves were seen from Kochi to Kagoshima. The Japan Meteorological Agency sent an emergency warning just 6 seconds after the first quake wave was detected. 10 minutes later, it sent a tsunami warning to Kochi and Miyazaki. Then, at 9:55 p.m., the agency sent out the Nankai Trough earthquake extra information to say it was checking if this quake was linked to a larger event along the Nankai Trough. This is the first time the government are announcing that Nankai Trough earthquake extra information to the public. After the quake, scientists found that some measuring points moved about 5 centimeters to the southeast. They also saw that the ground moved up and down near Miyazaki Prefecture's southern coast. At one spot, the ground sank about 2 centimeters. They even noticed a little more ground movement after the earthquake. The Hugonada area has many strong earthquakes. The biggest one recorded by instruments was in 1968. A 7.9 earthquake hit the north of Huga Beach that year. Experts say earthquakes with a strength of 7 or more happen in the southern part of Huga Beach every 10 to 30 years. Studies of old tsunami layers and tests show that the Sotosho earthquake in 1662 was also very strong, about 7.9 on the Richter scale. It is still not clear how these earthquakes are linked. Let's talk about Japan. Japan is on the Pacific Rim seismic belt. This means the ground shakes a lot. The Nankai Trough is a deep gap under the sea along Japan's southern coast. When it moves, it shakes the coast and also lands far away. Here is the latest earthquake update. On April 8, 2025, a 4.6 quake shook western Aichi Prefecture at 7:26 p.m. It happened 40 kilometers deep, and no tsunami was triggered. The strongest shaking in Aichi was rated at 3. Many cities, including Toyota, Tokai, Obu, Shida, Isai, and Miyoshi, the shaking was stronger. Even people in Gifu, Shizuoka, Nagano, Mie, Shiga, Osaka, Nara, Kyoto, and Yamanashi, near the Fuji 5 Lakes area felt small shakes. A new report about the Nankai Trough earthquake tells us that if two huge plates, the Eurasian plate and the Philippine Sea plate, break at the same time, the center of the quake will be between Suruga Bay and Shizuoka and Shikoku, about 100 kilometers from land. The ground might shake very hard for 3 minutes at a level of 7. Then, the seafloor would push up quickly and create huge waves as high as 30 meters. These waves could hit the coasts of Wakayama, Shizuoka, and Kochi in just 2 or 3 minutes. Scientists also predict that shakes of level 6 or more might occur in 24 prefectures from Kanagawa to Kagoshima. In a large area from the Kanto region to Kyushu, people might feel shaking of level 5 or higher. This is not a movie. It is the worst-case plan made by the experts. They imagine a nighttime quake hitting busy coastal cities. In this scenario, crowded coastal areas would be hit hard, roads would be blocked, fires might start, nuclear power plants could be in danger, and supplies may not reach people. Their plan predicts that 149 areas might shake with very high intensity. More than 300,000 people could die, which is 20 times worse than the 2011 Tohoku quake. Over 12 million people might have to leave their homes, and 2.35 million buildings could be destroyed. These numbers are only estimates, not exact numbers. Quick evacuation, strong buildings, and fast rescue work could lower these numbers. In Shizuoka Prefecture, near the earthquake center, both the quake and a tsunami could cause great damage. More than 100,000 people might die. In Aichi Prefecture, factories and crowded homes could lead to extra dangers. About 19,000 people might lose their lives. In Mie Prefecture, right in the impact zone of the Nankai Trough, a tsunami could be very dangerous, and around 29,000 people might die. In Osaka, the chaos during evacuation might lead to about 10,000 deaths. In coastal areas like Wakayama and Shikoku, tsunami waves may hit very hard. Wakayama Prefecture could cause the death of about 65,000 people, about 46,000 people in Kochi Prefecture might die, and around 41,000 people in Tokushima Prefecture might lose their lives. In Miyazaki Prefecture in Kyushu, where it is hard to move around and find safe routes, about 39,000 people might. Even in Tokyo, where the shaking might be milder, around 1,400 people might lose their lives. Scientists even made a second model to show what might happen if the fault breaks on one side or the other of Wakayama's Shirono Point. About 170,000 people could die, and 2.2 million buildings could be destroyed. On a very windy winter night, these numbers might be even higher. If the first big earthquake causes a lot of damage, there might not be enough rescue and medical help when another big quake hits. However, experts say that if people evacuate quickly after the first quake, then even if a large earthquake happens later, the losses can be much lower. If a big earthquake happens in the Nankai Trough, many parts of Asia may feel its effects. The latest report says this quake may be stronger than a 7 and be very shallow. This means the energy will travel farther. For the Japanese mainland, the quake will be a big test. Even though Japan builds strong buildings and roads, a powerful quake can still cause them to break. Earthquakes can also start fires, landslides, and tsunamis. The 2011 Great East Japan earthquake caused many problems and even led to a nuclear accident. The earthquake will not only affect Japan. Its shaking may travel to other parts of Asia. The Korean peninsula might feel strong tremors. Even though the Sea of Japan lies between them, the quake waves can move through the Earth's crust. Cities on the coast like Busan and Incheon might feel the shaking and even small tsunamis. China's east coast may also feel this quake. Even with the East China Sea between them, shake waves can reach cities such as Shanghai, Ningbo, and Zhoushan. The damage in China might be small because they are far away, but they still need to be careful. Taiwan can also be affected. Shake waves might reach Taiwan through Ryukyu Trench. Northern and eastern parts of Taiwan, like Taipei and Keelung, may feel strong tremors and small tsunamis. Local leaders are watching the situation closely and warning people. Parts of the Philippines and Southeast Asia may also feel the quake. Although these countries are far from Japan, the waves can travel through the Pacific Ocean. In areas like Luzon and Mindanao in the Philippines, people might feel shakes and see small tsunamis. Tsunamis caused by the earthquake can cross the Pacific Ocean in 1 or 2 days. This could threaten the coasts of North America, Central America, and South America. History shows that tsunami waves can travel far. A tsunami from the 1960 Chile earthquake once killed people in Japan. In 2011, a tsunami from Japan even hit port areas on the west coast of the United States. Low coastal areas may face very high waves. Nuclear power plants are also at risk, such as power plant in America and Japan. If harmful materials leak, they might spread in the ocean with the currents. While people around the world watch the Nankai Trough, Japan's mountains are sharing their secrets. Since February 2025, more than 1,300 small tremors have shaken northern Yamaguchi Prefecture. The centers of these tremors have moved closer to the surface, from 40 kilometers down to 25 kilometers. Scientists think a water-like liquid from deep underground is rising up. This liquid may wake up faults and volcanoes. Even though these shakes are not deadly yet, they remind us that the ground beneath us never sleeps. Just like before the Noto earthquake, quiet fluid shifts warned of a coming disaster. Fear cannot stop earthquakes, but being ready can change everything. Right now, there are 3 important things to do. 1. Find a safe place on high ground that you can walk to in 10 minutes. 2. Pack an emergency kit with water, food, a flashlight, and any medicine you need. Keep the kit in a place where you can reach it quickly. 3. Choose a place where your family will meet if there is trouble. This could be a park, a relative's house, or any other safe spot away from home. These simple steps could save your life when danger comes. The countdown to a mega-quake in the Nankai Trough continues. The prediction of 300,000 deaths is only for those who are unprepared. Every person in Tokyo, Nagoya, or Shikoku who makes preparations helps lower that number. This message is not meant to scare anyone, it is meant to bring hope. When the earthquake comes, let this hope guide you through the night. Now, stand up and open your phone's map. Find the closest tsunami shelter or quake-proof building that is within a 10-minute walk. Then, check your emergency kit. Make sure it has 3 days worth of water, energy bars, a flashlight, any needed medicines, and a note with your family's meeting place. Disaster preparation begins today. These 5 minutes could help make you a survivor. The clock keeps ticking. Japan lives on the ring of fire and stays watchful. Let's learn from this news, rethink how we face nature's power, and turn fear into action. If this video matters to you, please like it, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe. Stay safe, we will see you next time.